G'day guys, and welcome back to Season 25, War number 6, in Tier 1 of course again, and we're up against a Russian battle team I think. They were Plat 2 last season I think, which seems strange because they were a pretty tough opponent. They didn't die too much until towards the end. So we've got 8 fights this war. This is a really big war for us. We had lots of fights. Starting off on part 3, we've got an Iron Man Infinity War. I don't know why they placed him here. Like, he's much better on the next node, the Aggression Armor node, but yeah, so it's easy work for Magneto. So it is a bit of a slower fight. We're just going to be playing it super safe, parry heavy until we get to a special 3, and that will finish him off just like that. We've only got 2 Magneto fights this war. The other members of the team are Warlock. I think he took 5 fights this war. Actually no, Magneto took 3 fights. Warlock took 4 fights, and then Red Hulk for the last fight. But yeah, we're at our special 3 now. We've got 40 prowess. This will finish him off easily. There we go. So yeah, pretty nice warm up to start the war. And then the next fight we have is the shared Strike Counter Fury fight. It's got a Mysterio on it. Mysterio, just like Iron Man, is metal. And even though we can't technically reduce his ability accuracy, we can still do a lot of damage. And Magneto is obviously such a tank, so we can let a few passive furies build up and they won't do it. We won't take that much damage really. Most of the damage we're taking is from suicide masteries. But we are throwing special ones just to reset the strike counter node, just because we don't want to make him go too crazy with the furies. But yeah, that second set of bleeds gets him down, and yeah, pretty simple fight for Magneto. Now we've got another Mixmaster fight, and it's a rank 3 Apocalypse. And I fought this guy before with Warlock last season, but I'm pretty sure last time they didn't have willpower, and this time they did have willpower, so it was actually a much easier fight. Since, you know, once we get that infection up, and every parry is just going to be a bit of power drain for him, so we won't have to bait out as many special ones, which is really nice. And we are rainbow boosted pretty heavily because I had some 30% boosts about to expire, so I think we used 2 of them in total today. See, the special 2 is doing so much damage, and we're doing the same strategy to dex the special 1 as we did before, as we did last time we fought this guy. So we dex the first hit, block the second hit, and then dex out the last hit. I find that to be the safest way for me personally. And yeah, so we only have to take 1 hit into block. Alright, right there you see that heavy gave him the full bleed immunity, which isn't a big deal. Yeah, those armor breaks are just constantly draining his power, which is really nice. So we can just go super aggressive right now, and he's not going to get a bar of power at all. Well, he will get the bar up, but it'll just constantly drain it. But yeah, that was a super clean fight. Really happy with that heading into section 2. And unfortunately we died 3 times so far. It wasn't a great start at all in tier 1. They died 2 times out of their first 45 fights. They actually, I don't think they took any fights during the time I took my section 2 fights, but we really had to just put a clamp on these deaths and get the lead. So first fight in section 2 is a classic. Shitness Thorns Colossus. Stupidly easy fight for Warlock, so we're just going to speed it up. Nothing difficult at all about this fight. We are boosted pretty heavily, so we are triggering Protect on our mediums. But that's not a huge deal. We can just turn that off with a heavy attack. And I think we do get a net healing from this fight, since we throw a couple of special 3s. Actually, I don't know if we throw 2. We throw at least that one. Yeah, stupidly easy fight. And then next we got a Cull Obsidian, so this is the final Magneto fight. And he is XL, so he will be benefiting from Protect. But Protect is also affected by ability accuracy reduction, so we're actually not going to be triggering Protect that much, but we do trigger a few times on our heavy attacks. So just like the Iron Man fight from before, we're just going to be building to that special 3 and using that to finish him off. I was just trying to get in a light intercept here, but he wasn't really playing along. Yeah, so we got 2 Protect charges now, so we really want to get rid of those as soon as possible. Or at least before the special 3. And he's just not going for it at all. I don't know what was with this guy. He just wasn't going for any intercepts. So yeah, this special 3 will finish him off pretty easily. And the actual hits don't finish him off, but then the few ticks of the bleed does the trick. Alright, then now next we have a rank 3 Black Panther on the Strike Counter Fury and Buffet node. Now I've fought this guy with a Mega Red before, and after doing this fight with Warlock, a Mega Red is a much better option. Mainly because, you know, we can safely parry with a Mega the whole time. And I was a bit surprised, like, we for the most part we could mitigate Buffet, but it was hard keeping those infections up since we couldn't, you know, parry, since each parry gives him 4 charges. I don't know why I threw that special one. That was really strange. And also, he's going to have an armor buff most of the time, which reduces the infection duration. So I was playing really slow at this point, and I've quickly realized that wasn't the right thing to do. I had to play really aggressive to keep those infections up. And you see we're hitting a lot of 0 crits. So whenever we crit and he has an armor buff, the crit does 0 damage and he removes an armor buff. So you can see we sometimes crit enough so he has no armor and we can safely parry him, but that doesn't happen very often. And I make a big mistake here soon. Or I made a big mistake there. I shouldn't have heavied because he could have easily gone unstoppable. And I think soon... Yeah, so he has 6 armors now. We're actually doing really well. We're on track, but then we accidentally dexed and he wasn't infected, so he healed 15%, and I started panicking, so I ate a special 1. And then here, I thought I removed all his armors, so I thought I could parry, but obviously we triggered armor on that last hit, and that meant, you you know, he reflected the parry onto us, so we lost a lot of health, which was not good. So I was really worried at this point, because I was unsure about whether we could maintain the infections, and I was worried about, you know, taking more block damage, and it was just not a good time. We ate another special one there, I don't know how that happened. He heals again, he's up to 60% health, and there's only 2.5 minutes left. So I have to go really aggressive right now, since we need to get this win. We can't give up a death here, not in this war. You know, every death is so costly in tier 1. So we're going super aggressive right now. We're finding every intercept we can. And you can see we're pretty much staying on top of our infections. We're able to bypass buffet every time now. But you see, we're only at 20% health. He's at 30% health. And we just get... yeah. It's just not a good time. I was really panicking right now. We just get clipped when we try to dash back and give up a death. So I was really, really pissed at myself. Probably just for my lack of preparedness. I don't know what I could have done better to prepare. Maybe boost a bit higher or something. But yeah, I think next time, I mean, in the future, I'll try to bring a Mega, but I couldn't bring him this war because I had to take the Mixmaster Apocalypse, and obviously a Mega isn't good for that. So yeah, it was just like Warlock can definitely do this fight. He's a great option. It's just it can go wrong so easily, and you can see where it went wrong there. And it was purely my fault. Like, I made lots of errors, parried when I shouldn't have. I just got clipped by like 3 special ones. It was just not a good time. But I understand what I did wrong, and I think I learned from my mistake. And I can guarantee you, next time I fight a Black Panther here with Warlock, I will not die. Since I'll have a much clearer game plan of what I have to do. Yep, so we revive Warlock. He's the only one in our team that can safely do this fight. Unfortunately, triggers buffet without an infection, so he heals a bunch there. That happened 3 times, I think, across the 2 fights. And it's just, yeah, the armor's reducing our crit damage. That really extends the fight. Because, you know, he can get armors very quickly. And we just get no crit damage at all from that. We hit a nice intercept there, and he finally goes down. So yeah, really, really not a good fight, but we got him down eventually. Only gave up the 1 death. We've given up 9 deaths in total, heading into Section 3, which is not good. They still hadn't done many fights. I think they were probably asleep or something. So we absolutely could not afford to die in these last 2 fights. These are inexcusable deaths. These are simple minis that we should not be dying to ever. The first one's a rank 3 man thing. On the Vigorous Assault mini. Nothing really difficult about this fight for Warlock. It's just really long. Since obviously Man Thing will reduce our crit damage. Fortunately, he was running willpower, so he's not going to be throwing many special attacks this fight. And we'll be able to heal a lot from our special 3. And then the other thing we just have to be on top of is our infections below 50%, when he's below 50% health, since when he throws a special attack, he'll proc his regen and go unblockable. So we just have to make sure that he won't regen at all. But I quickly realized that we could actually do the whole last 50% of the fight without him even throwing a special attack, since he was running willpower, and he wasn't running Mystic Dispersion, I don't think. So it's going to do like 1, 2, 3 hit combos and just parry to drain his power. And yeah, Warlock is absolutely taking so much control over this fight, not letting anything do anything really. See, the special 3 is hitting decently hard enough, and we threw that with 3 infections, so we got a nice amount of regen. So we're over 2 minutes into the fight and he's still hasn't gone down yet. So like I said, it is a very slow fight, but it's very safe. And I could have done this fight with Red Hulk, but I wanted to preserve his health, Rock's health for Dragon Man. And Warlock can do this fight just fine. But yeah, Rock can definitely do this fight faster. So finally, we've got only a 5-star Dragon Man today, which was nice, and we're still heavily boosted. So this is going to be a really easy fight for Rock. We've got a nice heavy bait early, and then a nice special 1 bait. So the fight's pretty much all under our control at this point. Throws another special 1 at a perfect time as we get back into the corner. Hitting an absolute beast right now. Pretty much taking no damage because his ineptitude is healing us up. And we're going to finish it off in style with a special 3. So that was our war. 8 fights, 1 death, unfortunately. It was really, definitely an avoidable death. I just made too many errors in that Black Panther fight, and it cost us. But it didn't cost us the win. We actually won this war by 5 deaths, I want to say. 2 of their deaths didn't count, I think, because they died like 5 times to an Elsa. So yeah, it was really strong win. Not a strong win, but a really important win for us to stay in tier 1. And hopefully we can keep this up. It was definitely one of our best wins of the season, only giving up 11 deaths in total. You see we had the 8 kills. And we're still in Masters. I think we're up to 8th now in Masters. So, like I said last war, I don't expect to stay there for the whole season, but you know, anything can happen. And this marks the halfway point of the season. We're 5-1, so hopefully we can maintain this strong streak. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for me. I'll see you in the next one.